Hey guys, Kev here, and I have something cool to show you. We are seeing more and more left-handed dedicated knives, and it is very cool to see in the community. We, over at Divo Knives, just launched a pre-order, which is probably closed at this point, for a left-handed version of our Stout V2. You have the Vero Synapse in lefty. You have the Scout F3 in lefty. You have the TW Price Dawn in lefty. Concept did the Fenrir in lefty. You're seeing a lot of left-handed knives. It's very cool. And Kunwu is entering the stage. This is their newest model, the Padre. And they have a left-handed version of it. Now, I do have a link down in the description to Kunwu Knives. I have an affiliate link with them. If you want to pick up something from their website, they have a new version of the Tau out. They have the Padre, the Chad, I think they have some of. They have S-Tau. They have all different types of knives at this point. They are killing it. And, yeah, definitely check out that link if you're going to pick something up. It does help the channel. Let's open this bad boy up with the Divo Knives Growler V2. This is dropping at the end of the month or early September over at White Mountain Knives, who carries Kunwu knives. All right. I got it out of the package, but not the shrink wrap here. Haven't seen it yet. Oh, damn it. Oh, damn it. Oh. All right. I had somebody mention to me it's bigger than they thought it would be. It seems pretty normal sized. Personally, I already wish it was a satin or stone wash, not an acid wash, but they did send this to me, so not a big deal. It is way lighter than I expected. I also heard it was heavy, man. I don't know what is going on, but size is pretty good. I mean, so you have a steel lock bar insert. We have a milled clip. Look at that wild clip. Looks like some sort of Serge Panchenko stuff going on. I kind of like it. Kunwu logo there. I like that. You have the logo here along with those Timascus pivot collars they like to add to stuff. Very cool milling, knurling, whatever you want to call it on here. And there's your lefty frame lock. Detent on it feels... feels good, but could be stronger, honestly, I feel like. But we'll feel that out. Now, pretty comfortable in the hand, I gotta say. My biggest concern with this knife from Jump Street was it's a banana. It really boomerangs from tail to tip. And I prefer a knife that has more of a slight curvature to it. You know what I mean? You want that curvature in the handle so that it kind of nestles into your palm, right? But you don't want it so much so that it's sort of banana-ing. You just want it to fit your palm, I think. When you're choked up, this feels great. But there's definitely a lot of handles sticking out there that I don't need personally. So that's what somebody was telling me was, I think it was my buddy Steve. He was saying they could cut off ½ an inch of this handle easy. And yeah, I mean, look at that. Now, of course, not everybody has my hand size, but you can choke back. So the thing is, they went for the full forward finger choil, right? And that just ends up where you have so much handle that's extra sticking out of there. But I don't know what you could do about that, you know. No issues on disengage. Okay, let's try the front flipper. Yeah, this detent, I really would like it to be a little stronger. Again, it's not bad. By any means, it's not bad. Tried to get me there. It's an acid stone wash, but it's Vanex super clean. So again, I just really would like a stone wash or satin or something to, you know, because you have Vanex. It's not going to rust. This does look cool. It's very grayed out. It's very nice. We're not dropping, but very smooth. It's going to be. Again, that detent is fine. It's actually good. I'm going to shut up. It's good. I just got to get used to the knife. It's a little bit, the front flipper like you have this jimping all up here, but you have to come to just here to flip it. And I just don't get a lot of leverage, you know. And then I will say it just feels like a banana in the hand because of all this extra handle here. And that extra handle is all curved. It just feels kind of weird. This is fine. I don't know. It's just a little bit awkward for me because when I go, you know, when I'm lining this up, I just have this hook down here. It's not like locking in where if you look at a knife like this, it kind of locks me in here and then I can fire it. Really, no matter what the D10 is, I can just fire it out pretty well. On this, I'm really kind of sliding because of the banana. It's good. It's really good, actually, but I'm just not sure personally if I love the curvature of the handle. That's really where I'm going with that. This has been known to be called the poor man's Evo. So a lot of people compare it to the CKF Rotten Evo. I would venture to say it is very similar to the Evo. Blade shape is very similar. Now, this is a flat grind, not a hollow grind. I think you have a larger finger choil. You definitely have that super curvature that you don't see on the Evo. I mean, if you take the blade out of the equation, the handle looks nothing like it. And if you take the handle out of the equation, yes, the blade does look very Evo-y, but the Evo has more of like a clip here at the end, and it has a completely different hole shape. It's got a hollow grind. I mean, I think that it's fair for people to say it's the poor man's Evo, which basically is saying it's an affordable, not cheap, but a more affordable Evo, in the sense that if you really wanted an Evo and you can't afford it, but you do have $300 or whatever this costs, $350, something like that, that this would kind of appease that appetite, you know? So I want to be careful with my words. I'm not saying this is an Evo copy. I'm not even saying it really looks that much the same. And this is how usually it goes for me, is people compare things, and then I get it in hand. And that's when you can really tell that something is or isn't similar. And this really feels nothing like an Evo. It feels like its own thing, which is good, you know? Yeah, it's cool. It's really good, actually. This is a very comfortable grip. I really just want this handle to be gone. Like, I want it to end right here. Like, so what I want is a mini Padre with less of a banana, you know? Because I think a mini would actually shorten that up, and then you wouldn't have that. It is very well done. The D10 is fine. The D10 is good. That's, I think, mostly me just getting used to it. I mean, you can hear it firing out of there. I don't know why. Let's try a thumb flick. Yeah, it's good. Rollback works. Reach around works. And then you have the front flip, which I'm getting better at. You know, I might try to put a little tension on it to get it to pop a little bit more. But I don't know if I really need to. Taking apart Kunwus can be a little bit frustrating. Their tooling tends to be sort of on the short side. Or I should say depth side. They're very shallow. That feels pretty good. Do we want to take it apart? I mean, it's not dropping shut, but is that a big deal? Probably not. It'll probably break in. I keep messing with knives, and I really don't need to. There's no pivot lash, no side to side. Let's check it open. Just a little bit of side to side, but that's it. Let's see. Can't tighten it. So that's just built in, I guess. Oh, there it goes. Hold on. Interesting. Yeah, it's very well made. Yeah, that detent is just a little bit, you know, it's not soft. It's, see, I'm on the lock bar. There you go. Yeah. So I can open it pretty easily that way, but I don't know. I mean, it definitely feels better than any Evo I've gotten out of the box, since we're comparing those. Nice thumb flick. I mean, I like all the deployments. This feels like something that needs a blade chop. Let me just check, see how much handle is utilized down here. Yeah, I mean, you can't really take off anything without taking off blade. And I like the blade. The blade is fantastic. Let's check it out right-handed. Can I flick it? Look at that. If you get on the lock bar, you get that extra detent. Oh, no, there it goes. Maybe we could take it apart. Let's just see. All right, that came right out. So let's go on an adventure, folks. Probably gonna have to take these off. Well, that one's clearly not holding anything together, so let's just see if this one is, I guess. And this is where we get in trouble with Kunwu knives. They lock tight, and then there we go, we got it. You just need to be careful, that's all. Not a big deal. Should just pop off now, because I mean, that's not holding anything on, so I can see that it's not. I think I just need to wiggle here. What's going on? It's coming. There we go. So we do have the multi-row bearings, which is nice. I could try some skiffs. Usually don't have good luck with those with Kunwu knives, but I could try it. I think I put my skiff bearings away, so hang on a second. Thought I knew where they were. So these are going to be 6mm, and then they're going to be 1/16. Can't slide it through, but trust me. And then they're going to be the big boys. So we'll see if these even fit. But they're actually, ironically, the Evo bearings. So here's a set. I thought I had a fresh set though. There we go. Those are 18 ball, yep. Put all these away. Sorry, just a second. All right. So these should be identical, honestly. Yeah, they should be good. They're a little bit smaller, I think, but that should be okay. So let's take it apart the rest of the way. There we go. So here's the inside. We have the bearings, or the washers, all that good stuff. Let's see if we can get these out easily. Sometimes they don't want to come out. We don't have much of a track, but I'm a little concerned about the track. So don't want to have it work in the wrong kind of track, if that makes sense. But it can be hard to get these washers out. So let me try. My trick is usually to just pull something through like this. See if this works. I'll pull it as tight as I can, and then when I yank it out, usually I can get the washer or whatever it is to come with it. But that did not happen. So, all right, let's just leave them. We'll see if we have any issues with the bearings, but hopefully they're running close to the same spot there. Looks like they will once they're on the pivot, yeah. Okay. All right. clean that. I did want to put a little pressure on this, right? So you'll see right here, the lock bar is kind of close to the cut, so it doesn't have a lot of pressure on it. Now I need to be careful because I don't want it to go crazy, but I'm gonna try to maybe get it to just go to there. And you want to be gentle because you can see that I already moved it. And I already moved it a little bit, just gently. There we go. All right, I got it to where I wanted. We'll see. I could do damage, could make things worse, you know, and that's all on me. Clean the detent hole. So that's a little fuller here, which is cool. Clean the detent ball. Clean the lock face, all the good stuff. All right, and then we shall put the pivot back in. It looks like it went through this side, right? And then the D shape is facing down. So we'll face that down like so. And now this is an example of a D shape that goes across the whole blade. Or the whole pivot, which I don't love because the blade is essentially, yes, it's at the bottom, but the blade is riding on a not perfect circle. Not always an issue, just something to point out. But so far, I am digging this construction. Everything's cool. What's going on here? There we go. Is there a pin we're missing? Or I guess that barrel goes through. This guy goes through here. Like that. There we go. Okay, and we need some KPLs. So I'm going to put the heavy on the detent track. I'm going to do that with the Q-tip. Just take the Q-tip, put a little bit there. No detent ramp or anything. Could be part of why it wasn't just swinging down. Might just have to push the lock bar a little further out when you're disengaging. So we're going to take our bearings, get them all lubied up. Nice and clean. Let me just get another Q-tip. Clean out any residue. Yeah, got a little something there. Okay, put the blade on. It's a little weird because it's kind of backwards, you know. Now let me clean this lock face. It's a big ass, I mean, it's pretty big. All the internals here, because we have a big heavy blade. They were definitely smart about it and used big bearings and all that good stuff. All right. Okay. Let's see if I can get it in the closed position. Stop pin is internal, which is cool. All right. And lock that in. Pop those in. Okay. Everything pop back in place. We're going to put in our screws. Oop. Is one longer than the other? Doesn't look like it. This one just sits deeper because it's in the clip. And we'll clean the pivot and everything once we know if everything's good to go. But first I want to check. Okay. Centered. Detent feels, oh yeah, that's awesome. But we'll see if that caused any undue issues with disengaging. Is it too strong now? See, now it's tight. And there's your downside. So let's just see if I over tightened it first. Man, that feels good though. Let's back off a little bit. Let's see if there's any play. Still no play, but man, that feels so good. But I don't want it to be at the full detriment of the action, you know what I mean? Also looks like the stop pin somehow is over to that side. So let's just see. Let me feel it. Is it the lock bar is the question. Like, is it free dropping when the lock bar is out of the way? No, not really. Just for shits and giggles, loosen it a little bit. I'm starting to think it's not the lock bar, but we're gonna see. I don't have my pry bar here, but let's see if we can. I need it to go the other way though. God damn it, come on. There we go. All right. Okay, that's fine. Everything's fine there. Let me just try something. Curious if it's the bearings, because like I said, I've had issues with skiffs in Kunwus before, so I'm curious. Curious if that could be the issue. Yep. It was just the skiffs. Interesting. D10 feels great. Drops. Shakes down. Dead center. Any play? no play, no rock. Beautiful action. Okay. So, yeah, I just have not had luck with skiffs in Kunwus. They, to me, that just says their precision is very good. They don't leave room for anything. So, you know, skiffs sometimes, maybe it's a little bit thicker, maybe whatever. And that can change the game, you know. It could have just been the washers being, already kind of set with the tracks, but I don't know. So let's just tighten everything down, and then I'm gonna get the glue out, and then we can wrap this up, because I know you guys are probably sick of me. Centering. Okay, so let me just test this. That was tight too. So pivot down. Okay, the pivot is tight, centered, detent snappy, blade is dropping, no problem, no play. Little stronger on the disengage, but that's your trade-off. I mean, that's what you get. If you want a stronger detent, you get a little more lock bar tension, but I'm good with that. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this out carefully. We're gonna clean it. Not much there. See if I can get in there with this cloth. It's a little thicker than usual. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. It's trying to push it out the other side. Okay. Okay, one last test, just because I pushed it out a little there. I just want to make sure. Tightened, detent, no play, great action. Okay, so what we do is we take this, grab our glue, hit it there and there. No play. 2. Dead centered. Lockout solid. No play, no rock. Disengage, check, check. Oh yeah, baby. Now this thing is perfect. So, you know, sometimes you just have to make a small tweak. I'm sure they've got most of them dialed in perfectly. Plus, I'm very anal, you guys know that. But I've seen a few of these out in the wild already, and nobody has said anything about the detent. Other than it's perfect. So I don't have any qualms about that. But yeah, I'm excited to carry this. I like the clip. I like the design overall. I just don't love the banana shape at the end. That's really my biggest hang up with it. I wish it kind of like, I don't know how that would have worked, but you know, I don't know. That's just a personal thing. But I'm going to carry it, and I'll do a review on it and let you guys know what I think. But there's a link down below to Kunwu's website if you want to check out any of their products. They have a lot of cool knives these days, and they are cool people. Sergio over there is the person I talk to the most. Really funny dude, just doesn't take himself too seriously. I need to have him on a live stream soon. Yeah, I appreciate them for sending this my way. And I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you Hey guys, Kev here, and I just wanted to add a little bit of an addendum at the end of the Padre video. Sort of a first impressions, I guess you would say, because it came out of the box. We took it apart, tried skiffs, didn't work, tuned it, got it dialed in, and now I've been carrying it for the rest of that day. It's been a few hours, and yeah, I mean, it really has grown on me immensely. You know, I still don't love the size of it. I think it's a little big. That's going to be totally subjective. So for me, it's just a little larger than I like. You can see a lot of handles sticking out there, and that's just not my preference. The clip works really good, looks really good. I dig it quite a bit. I do wish I had a satin version. I don't know if that exists in the Lefty, but I believe they do in right-handed have a sort of bead blasted version of the diamond texturing and a satin blade, where this is like all stone washed or acid washed. The blade is heavy, so I have already bruised my nail. Luckily it didn't crack it or anything, but Kunwu is one of those companies that focuses heavily on heat treat and geometry and putting a good edge on the knife. So you, when you get the knife, don't have to do anything to it right away. A lot of companies, you get the knife, you got to put an edge on it, or, you know, you just use the edge real quick and then put a fresh one on it. These come really sharp, ready to go, and yeah, it got me pretty good in the nail. It's not like bleeding, there's nothing going on. It's just, I can feel the bruise. And that's solely from doing this, disengaging and not paying attention. And this little corner got me, boom, right in the nail there. And it's the same problem you have on a CKF Evo or a Chavez 229 or something like that, where you just have a massive blade. I mean, and it just comes down. So you just need to be careful. I do this move like that, or you can kind of bring it down like this. You can also do it like normal and just kind of tilt it a little bit and let it come down that way. Action wise and detent, I got this detent dialed so perfectly now. For me, it's perfect. It really snaps on that front flipper because of the curved handle. Luckily, this is a Lefty version, so I can hang on to the clip, which I don't normally get as a Lefty. So I can really dial up on this front flipper to get it to pop, but it does sort of want to kind of kick out of my hand when I do that. And I think a lot of that has to just do with the curved nature of it, but I'm also not used to having that grip, so it could just be user error as well. But it's not like actually slipping or anything. I just want to point that out. I love the thumb flick on this. It's very, very satisfying to thumb flick. No issues with lock bar pressure or anything. So reverse flick and front flip or thumb flick are great. Front flip I've got down. You can do the rollback move very easily. You can do a reach around move pretty easily as well. So you have a lot of options with this. So really my only gripes are subjective things, like my detent was maybe slightly weaker than I prefer. It was fine, don't get me wrong. Probably anybody else would have been good with the way it was. That's a personal thing. And then it's a little longer for my taste, right? Again, very subjective. And then the banana handle, just not my style. I was just talking to my buddy Jorge from JD for EDC, and he loves this model. He loves the banana handle. He loves how that fills out his 2XL hand. So, you know, it's all going to be subjective. I would love to see a mini version of this in the future that maybe tones down the banana a little bit, shrinks it down a little bit, and that'll be sick. But as is, this is a banger, guys. Kunwu really is just killing it right now. And again, I want to reiterate, just because I don't want to bring it up to start anything, I want to bring it up because it keeps coming up, that this somehow is like an Evo copy, and it just doesn't, it just isn't. I've been in groups where we've talked about it, and you know, from pictures, yeah, you can get that sense that maybe it looks like an Evo a little bit, but when you get this in person, it really isn't at all. To me, it kind of has like, if anything on the blade, it kind of looks closer like a TRM Shadow, and then the handle is completely unique. I just, you know, I think people like to compare knives, and I do the same thing in my head, but we need to be careful with that. And you really should listen to the people who have handled both knives that are being compared, because this happens all the time. And I get the knives in and I'm like, this is nothing like the other knife, you know? So just be wary of that. Don't let that, you know, convince you of anything. But they're doing great work. Van Eyck's super clean over here on this guy, which is very cool. And yeah, stay tuned. I should have a full review, or at least a rapid review with this guy, because I have covered a lot here in this probably very long video. I'm starting to do super long ones again, apparently. But powerful knife here, big knife energy here. And yeah, I mean, I will say regarding the Evo thing, I know, you know, some people are going to hate that I keep talking about it, but if you've always wanted an Evo and you just haven't had the $800, you know, I can't argue that this is a good poor man's Evo in that sense. You know, it's like 300 bucks and you get some Mokutai on there and you get a similar-ish overall design, you know what I mean? But just take those words for what they are, not out of context. So very cool knife, the Kunwu knives Padre. And not to be minimized, this is a full left-handed model. They also have full righties, obviously, but the fact that they are paying attention for lefties is very cool, and I appreciate that. Love you guys. Catch you later. Peace.